All right. Check, check. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be starting with our first bout of the afternoon in 1 minute.
Fight Night at the Museum with USA Boxing at the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in downtown Colorado Springs for amateur boxing at its best to celebrate the Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. Now, with all the action from Fight Night at the Museum, here's your host, Mike Lewis. It's Fight Night at the Museum with USA Boxing at the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in downtown Colorado Springs for amateur boxing at its best to celebrate the Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. Now, with all the action from Fight Night at the Museum, here's your host, Mike Lewis.
And it is Fight Night at the Museum Part 2. You're listening on the KPBF Radio YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us from downtown Colorado Springs at the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum. We're getting underway here in just a couple of moments. We've added a match. We want to let you know what's going to happen was Ethan Bombardier was supposed to fight yesterday. He's 26 years old, but he was not able to compete because his opponent was not here. So they had matched him up against Angel Young. So Ethan is 26 years old, Angel is 20, and joining me to help me broadcast this game is
Mike Campbell.
Mike Campbell. Yes, Mike, and thank you for being here. And we're just explaining what's going on with this match before we have the national anthem.
Excellent. No, thanks for having me. Thanks for being here. Excited to be here on the plaza in front of the Olympic and US Olympic and Paralympic Museum. And we're starting off with the heavyweights.
Yes. And I think Ethan, I was explaining what happened. Ethan not able to box yesterday, so I'm sure he appreciates this opportunity.
You know, it's a funny story. I was here at 7 a.m. and Ethan was here with his club, Ibarra, setting up the ring and excited about his match. And then he weighed in and his opponent wasn't able to make it. So, so this is exciting that he's able to get a match. Of course, Angel Young fought yesterday. I had the pleasure to referee. It was a good bout. He's a former national champion and one of our national team members. So we get a little bonus match today, a little preliminary.
They are in the middle of the ring. They both come out pretty aggressive with it.
Yeah, both big guys. You know, I believe Ethan is undefeated, about 3-0, I believe, and Angel, like I said, a former national champion, a lot of experience. So seasoned guys and ready to get it on. Looks like they're both boxing at distance, working their jab, looking for some openings, but obviously a healthy amount of respect to start the bout.
Angel is in the blue, so those watching, and Ethan is in the red.
Ethan from right here in Colorado Springs, Fountain area, and Angel joining us from Arizona.
So Angel may have a little high altitude issues. We'll see if that helps him play. So they both being pretty aggressive in center ring. Both getting some good jabs.
Both looking for their openings. Looks like they're measuring their distance. Not really willing to get too close and mix it up. Of course, heavyweights, you got a lot of power. You got to measure that power before they really get in there and mix it up.
Speaking to Al Wild yesterday, he was a boxing coach at the U.S. Air Force Academy for years, and he kept mentioning how important it is for each fighter to keep their gloves up, you know, protect their heads, but also gives them the opportunity to jab when they need to.
Good exchange there. Again, still measuring that distance, not really making full contact yet, but trying to find what's that right distance. Stay out of the zone and close enough to hit, but far enough away to not get it. Yeah, usually coaches will give them a drill where they hold a towel with their right hand up against their chin, get them in the habit of keeping that glove raised. Some people have good instincts and good head movement, others need to block those punches.
Good exchange right there. Both of them are they're moving around nicely.
Yeah, a little bit of a preview. You know, we're supposed to have a big matchup tonight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Of course, got pushed off, but the world's looking forward to that heavyweight title fight. These guys have aspirations of being pro one day and maybe in that mix, but good boxing match. See, and then they close the distance. Yep, immediately tie it up.
Show each other a little respect. There we go.
Both guys light up and not really wanting to move around. Again, really studying each other.
Warning was given. 10-second warning coming up for the first round. And there's the bell. End of first round.
Good round. Good way to start the event.
Absolutely. So this is about 1A. Do you think that Ethan, by not having fought yesterday, has a little bit of advantage as far as rest goes, or do you think that plays a factor?
You know, Angel's a veteran of many tournaments. So when you go to a tournament, you know, you're in competition every day. And as soon as you get out of the ring, you know, not the super heavyweights, but boxers, as soon as they get out of the ring, they check their weight and start weight management immediately for that next weigh-in the next morning. So he's pretty used to this routine, and he's been pretty busy. He did just compete in our tournament in Lubbock 2 weeks ago. I think Ethan, you know, he's been most of the local matches here, so he's used to this environment. Of course, he got to sleep in his own bed last night. I think that's a huge advantage.
What would you say after the first round? Would you, if you had to give an advantage to one or the other, or pretty?
It was a pretty close round. There was the main factor is going to be who landed more clean scoring blows. I think Angel had a slight advantage there, mostly feeling out round, but Angel definitely has a little more seasoning and dictated the tempo.
All right, round 2 now underway. This is about 1A.
Weather cooperating with us so far. Nice and cool. A little slight breeze, no rain. At least it stays that way and we get all our bouts in.
The rain came through earlier, and I'm glad it did. 72 degrees right now. That's good temperature to box in, Mike.
Cool. Looks like Angel got a nice little left hook in there. Yeah, talking about our rain. If we do get a little bit of rain, we've got our ground screw ready with the tarp. Did a good job yesterday preserving the ring and keeping it dry during our small delay. So Angel getting a nice lead left jab there.
Yeah, your crew here did a fantastic job of getting things covered up in the ring and getting back to boxing.
Tough city to be outdoors for a boxing event, right? But we made it work, and what a lovely setting. It's worth it. And I think Ethan's day's not over after this match. I think he's going to be on call, ready to break the ring down too. Looping right from blue, nice lead jab. Angel looks a lot more comfortable now in the pocket. He's measured his distance now and he's planning his combinations. His jab is working.
And has a slight advantage when it comes to height. Put block through center ring.
Bloody nose there developing, red. So now you see the referees moving in really close and keeping a close eye. Every time the head goes back there, he's considering potentially giving an 8 count, giving the boxer rest so he can assess his condition. So Ethan is getting a little bit winded there.
Talking to all the boxers yesterday, they all talked about cardio is so important in boxing. This is one of the top things you need to be in condition for.
I think when a boxer has good cardio, it gives them the confidence. You see sometimes if they're hesitant, they don't want to run out of gas, and so they're super careful of that. But having good cardio is definitely lets them have confidence that they can go at 100% late in the bout.
All right, there is the bell, signifying the end of round 2. You're joining us from downtown Colorado Springs. Cloudy skies, 72 degrees. There's a slight breeze, but actually I think the weather is really perfect for boxing. I would imagine the boxers would rather compete in this than if it was 90 degrees and hot.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's better for the fans, for the officials as well, who are out here in the elements. But yeah, lovely setting. We were worried about it being too warm, but turns out this is quite nice.
So we will be having the singing of the national anthem is coming. I just want to give people a preview of what's going to happen. We'll have the singing of the national anthem by Ted Daly. He's the gentleman who sang yesterday, and then we'll keep going with the rest of the bouts.
Yeah, we wanted since this was a bonus match, we wanted to slide it in before worried about a rain delay or anything like that. So got it in before the national anthem. We'll start our program as soon as this bout is completed.
Okay, so we have one more bout. This one's 3 minutes long. Some of the bouts I understand later, because they're younger boxers, will be less than 3 minutes. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. These guys are seniors, and which is over 18 and experienced, so they go the full 3 minutes. For the novices, and then for the 15, 16-year-olds, they go about 2 minutes, 2 minutes around. 13, 14-year-olds will do a minute and a half, and then the younger ones under 12 will do 1 minute round.
So those will go quick.
Yeah. Well, like our coach Billy likes to say, the professionals is a marathon, but the amateurs is a sprint. So you got to come out of the gates. You only have 3 rounds to differentiate yourself. So you got to pick up the pace.
It's exciting to see some of these real young ones that are out there. They're taking this really seriously, and their boxing career is just getting started. But it was exciting watching and talking to them yesterday.
Absolutely, it's full of enthusiasm and energy. Boxing really gives them not just like you mentioned, good physical fitness and cardio, but gives them self-confidence and discipline, like any martial arts does. So it's good to see them develop at that age, and then as they work on their fundamentals, then they'll come into a growth maturity and then develop their real power and then be able to incorporate that into their style.
Boy, Ethan and Angel are both getting pretty aggressive in this 3rd round. I guess they know this is where you got to score the final points.
Yeah, the feeling out's over, isn't it? Now they know each other. They know what tendencies they're going to do, know what kind of movement they're giving each other, and countering. You see, they're both punching when the other punches. So that's creating their openings. Minor blood coming from Red's nose. No concern the referee or the doctor hasn't stepped up at all. But they are there for the boxer's safety. And if it does flow, the referee will take them over and the doctor can examine it.
And I noticed yesterday that they're always examined after each bout, so that's good. We care about their safety.
Absolutely. Just like high school sports, each of these athletes maintains an annual physical that they keep in their passbook when they upload.
Nice crowd here, by the way, in downtown Colorado Springs watching. Getting some advice from some of the fans right now.
Yeah, good crowd. On a day like today, I think the museum's going to have a lot of visitors compared to, say, Garden of the Gods and some of the other attractions around town. And we're getting a lot of walk-up. People want to stop and see a fight.
They both respond to each other. Angel will get a jab in, and Ethan turns around and returns the favor.
Yeah, I think that first round where they were really trying to figure out where their distance was, now they realize that their distance is about the same. And when one throws, the other one throws right over.
10-second warning given.
So there, Angel gets a great counter, right hook, right cross, and they're finishing the round strong.
All right, that wraps up the first bout. We're going to step away, take care of some business. You are listening to KPPF Radio on YouTube. We want to thank you for joining us. We'll be back with the singing of the national anthem and who is the winner of the first bout in just a couple of moments. Thanks for joining us.
You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is McDonald Paving and Chip Sealing, Colorado Springs concrete contractors and driveway sealers since 1979. McDonaldPaving.com. Call 719-590-1680. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's gold sponsor is Katie Newbill with Keller Williams Realty. Call 719-641-5544. Call Katie Newbill with Keller Williams Realty, 641-5544.
It's Fight Night at the Museum with USA Boxing at the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in downtown Colorado Springs. For amateur boxing at its best to celebrate the Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. Now, with all the action from Fight Night at the Museum, here's your host, Mike Lewis.
And we are back. We are back in downtown Colorado Springs. We're waiting for Ed Gonzalez. He is the ringside announcer. He is going to announce the winner of our first bout here at the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum. So
All right,
here's
ladies
the
and
announcement.
gentlemen. Big round of applause to our athletes. Our winner in bout 1A by unanimous decision is out of the blue corner, Angel Young.
All right, so that's 2 in a row for Angel. We're going to see if we can get him over here in just a couple moments to congratulate him. So Angel boxed last night. Ethan was not able to, and I'm sure Ethan appreciates the opportunity. But again, so that's 2 days in a row that Angel Young is going to be happy, I'm sure. And again, we'll see if we can get him over here. He's going to have a quick medical check, I believe, and then we'll see if we can get him in front of the microphone. We will have the singing of the national anthem in just a couple of moments. That is scheduled, and then we will begin what was listed in the bout sheet as bout 1. But again, that last fight that we had was added at the last minute, so that's the reason. You are listening to Fight Night at the Museum. We'll call this part 2 in downtown Colorado Springs. And this is KPPF Radio, but we are on YouTube today, and we appreciate you joining us. In just a couple moments, we will have the singing of the national anthem, and then we will get things underway. They've invited some youngsters to come into the ring, and so that's what is for the singing of the national anthem. So we're all getting ready to stand up and have the singing of the national anthem.
Thank you. Before the anthem, I'm going to sing America the Beautiful. They asked me to sing it. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mounted majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the peerless fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave. For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you very much. My grandsons, my great grandsons, here they are.
And again, Ted Daly singing the national anthem here at the US Olympic Museum, Paralympic Museum in downtown Colorado Springs. We have 11 more bouts getting ready to go. And again, if you just joined us, Mike Campbell, who's going to be assisting in some of our announcing today, was saying some of the younger bouncers, because we have youngsters that will be in the ring today, those bouts will be, some of them will be 1 minute long. So some of these matches will go very, very quickly. That's because of their age. So we're waiting on everyone to clear the ring, and then we will get underway. Coming up next, it'll be Marquise Cleveland and Oscar Pugla, and they will be coming up the box. And it's listed as bout number 1 because bout 1A was added as something they wanted to do for the school having this bout A box. I'll tell you a little bit about Marquise Cleveland. He is 15 years old, and Oscar Pugline is 14. So we have a 15 and a 14-year-old getting ready to come out and box. I'll tell you what, we're waiting on the boxers to come in. Apologize for the delay, but I think once we get this next match underway, we will be moving along fairly quickly for the rest of the afternoon. You're listening to and watching on the KPPF radio feed on YouTube from downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. We'll go ahead and thank our sponsors before we get rolling here. They make this broadcast possible. 365 Grand Club Antlers and Mining Exchange Hotels, McDevitt Law Firm, 9 Round, PPG Realty Group, and KD Newbill eXp Realty. McDonald Paving, Rocky Mountain Protective Services, Harmony, Guaranteed Rate with PPG Realty. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors for making today's broadcast possible. We appreciate that. So, looks like we are getting ready to go in. Let's go ahead and bring up our stadium announcer. And both fighters have met at mid-ring, and they're back now in their respective corners, and we're getting ready to go. We're waiting for the bell. There we go. Round 1 underway in bout 1 in Colorado Springs. 14-year-old and a 15-year-old girl. 15-year-old, excuse me. They're both from Colorado Springs, so the altitude's not an issue. They know the area very well. Both boxers coming out pretty aggressive. You need to kind of see how each other's going to respond. Both boxers now in center ring. Oscar Pugline is in the red trunks, and Marquise Cleveland is in the black trunks. And we are broadcasting now in downtown Colorado Springs, and again, both boxers are in center ring. They both are getting some good punches in. getting a little bit aggressive right there. Crowd is reacting. 10-second warning has just been given for round one. And there's the bell for the end of round one. You're listening to Fight Night at the Museum Part 2, because we started this last night. It is Saturday afternoon in downtown Colorado Springs. This is the YouTube feed on KPPF Radio.
Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is PPG Realty and Guaranteed Rate. Call 719-357-9340, ppgrealestate.com. PPG Real Estate and Guaranteed Rate, helping you make the right move. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum is sponsored by McDivitt Law Firm. When an accident happens,
All right, we are back. Apologize about the technical difficulties we were having. This is round two. And again, just joining us, it's Oscar Pogline. He's 14 years old. He is in the red trunks, gold tank top. Marquez Cleveland, 15 years old, is in the black pants at top. The referee stopped for just a couple of moments, and now we re-engaged in the center ring. Both fighters being fairly aggressive, each of them getting some good jabs in. A good shot for Marquise there. Both boxers are seeing some good blows. Ogline was on the ropes there for just a couple of moments. 10-second warning given for the end of round two. Even though the warning's been given, they're still both going at it. There's the bell. That's the end of round two. You are listening and watching on YouTube to KPPF Radio's web streaming page of the Night of Boxing at the US Olympic Museum and Paralympic Museum in Olympic City, USA, downtown Colorado Springs.
Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's silver sponsor is 9 Round, in partnership with Pikes Peak MMA. 30-minute kickboxing fitness. Get stronger with 9 Round, in partnership with Pikes Peak MMA. Call 719-646-9810. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's silver sponsor is Rocky Mountain Protective Services, a veteran-owned security service in Colorado Springs, offering an extensive line of security and protective services. 719-578-3325.
And we are back. Round three, bout one is underway. So both fighters are going to try to score points here because this is their last opportunity to get those points from the judges. We'll find out who the winner is here. These are short rounds because of the age of our boxers, 14 and 15-year-old, both from Colorado Springs. Good blows from both boxers there for just a couple of moments. I would say that Oscar Pugline a bit more aggressive over the last few seconds. So there comes Marquise responding. Once again, 10-second warning given, so we're counting down to the last few seconds of this matchup. And there's the final bell. So another round and bout is over. We'll find out who the winner is in just a couple of moments. Thanks for joining us on the KPPF stream on YouTube. We are live from downtown Colorado Springs.
To USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's medal sponsor is Harmony Real Estate Group and Nancy Weil. Call 719-229-4596. Call Nancy Weil at Harmony Real Estate Group for all your real estate needs.
1040 KPPF AM Monument, Colorado Springs. K253AH, 98.5 FM, Colorado Springs. K239CH, 95.7 FM, Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is Olympic City, USA.
And both fighters in center ring with the referee, and we are getting ready. They are tabulating the final scores. We'll know who the winner is of bout one in just a couple of moments. We will be handing it over for the announcement to our ringside announcer. We want to thank Ed Gonzalez for doing that. So we'll be going to Ed in just a couple of moments. You'll be hearing him on the YouTube channel along with everyone who is joining us here live in downtown Colorado Springs. A very nice crowd indeed. We still have 10 more bouts to go after this. And again, the scoring sheet is now being given to Ed. Let's go ahead and turn it over to Mr. Gonzalez.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner bout number one. Our winner by split decision is out of the blue corner, Oscar Brogline.
All right, congratulations to Oscar. We will see if we can get him over here in a moment to congratulate him on microphone. We're going to try to do that. They have to go through their medical check, and then if we can get him over here, we will do so. If not, we wish him all the best as he moves on. The next boxers are getting ready to head in the ring. One already has, as we continue to move this at a very quick pace in downtown Colorado Springs. Our next boxers are going to be Noah Palmomar and Luis Cornejo. So again, we're waiting on both boxers to come up to the ring and get things started. I was hoping we were going to get our last winner over, but he has stepped away, and that's okay. He's getting some pictures with family and things like that, it looks like. So congratulations and good for him. You are listening and watching to the YouTube feed of KPPF Radio. I'm Mike Lewis. Mike Chapman is also helping call some of our matches and bouts today. We appreciate his help and grateful for his assistance. Takes a lot of folks to put this broadcast on. DJ is our engineer, our audio engineer. We also have several camera operators that are helping provide the stream to YouTube. So again, it takes a lot of folks to put this on, and that doesn't even mention, I didn't even mention the folks that are here with the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum. They're doing an outstanding job of putting this on. And thank you very much. Well, looks like we are going to get our winner over here, so that is terrific. Hey, I want to have you pull that microphone up just a little bit. I just want to congratulate you on your win. How does it feel?
Feels good.
All right. You got a little bit of blood. Are you okay?
Yeah, I always get bloody noses.
Do you? Okay. Just want to make sure. I know they checked you out before, and so how did you feel out there for the box, for the fight?
It felt good. Raising my hand up. getting that win feels amazing.
All right. And you're from Colorado Springs, Oscar?
Yes.
All right. Well, what are your future plans for boxing?
I want to make it to the Olympics and go pro.
All right. And you are 14 years old.
Yes.
So you're just getting started in boxing?
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, listen, we've got our next match coming up. I wanted to thank you for making time to come over and visit, and I want to wish you all the best going forward in your career.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. What school do you go to, by the way?
Peyton.
Peyton? Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. I'm sure you're going to get some high fives when you get back to school.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You have a great day.
You too.
All right. Thank you. That is Oscar Podline. All right. We're getting ready for our next bout. Bout 2. This is going to be Noah Pomar and Luis Conejo, and the boxers are engaged in mid-ring. Both coming out very aggressively at the beginning, as you can see on YouTube. Each boxer getting some nice jabs in. Both the boxers are getting some advice and some direction from their coaches that are both off the ring. We can hear them just a little bit, shouting up some instructions and some advice. Both boxers back in mid-ring, checking each other out, energetic. For the most part, both boxers also keeping their gloves up near their face. You were with us last night. Coach Al Wow was explaining why that is so important. For protection, it also allows you to be ready to throw a jab when you need to if your hands are in the proper position. 10-second warning has been given. There's the end of round 1. We'll step aside, take care of a little bit of business. You're listening and watching to the YouTube channel of KPPF Radio on YouTube.
USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum is sponsored by 365 Grand Properties, The Antlers, and Money Exchange Hotel. 365grandclub.com. Call the Antlers Hotel at 719-955-5600. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is PPG Realty and Guaranteed Rate. Call 719-357-9340, ppgrealestate.com. PPG Real Estate and Guaranteed Rate, helping you make the right move.
And we are back. Round 2 is underway between Noah Pomar and Luis Conejo. Pomar is in the black and gold trim. Luis is in the blue. Both boxers again being very aggressive. Noah is 13 years old from Pueblo, Colorado. We didn't get the information sheet on Luis and his age. Apologize about that. Crowd is really getting engaged. It's exciting to see the crowd engaged. I will tell you that the rain has just started to fall here, so we will see if we may have to go into a delay. Some of the crowd is now heading towards the museum. So I believe they want to try to continue the bouts that have started before if we do have a rain delay. So my expectation would be that we would go ahead and continue bout 2 before we put a tarp on the rain. But we'll see what the rain does. It let up just a little bit, but for a few moments it was coming down pretty hard. There was a slight pause, and now we're back. Both fighters center ring, getting some good punches in. There's the bell. That is the end of round 2. Down in Colorado Springs again, a few people did. There are some fans that are still sitting down. Excuse me, they're still seated. They've umbrellas have come out. Some folks who may not have had an umbrella did head for the inside of the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum here in downtown Colorado Springs. So again, my expectation based on what they told me was if they decide to do a rain delay, they want to go ahead and get any bout that was underway completed, because that does have an impact once the fighters start to fight in their cardio fitness and the way they can respond, because they've already begun to fight. So we'll see what happens. They're getting ready to. There's the warning bell to get ready for round 3. Round 2, Noah Pomar and Luis Corneo. There we go. Fighters have been told to engage. Corneo came out very aggressive. They're getting some good jabs in from Corneo. Pomar was on the ropes for just a moment. Both fighters back in the ring, middle ring. Rain has subsided. Just a very brief shower. With some very good jabs there from Corneo there. Corneo's getting aggressive as this third round comes down towards an end. Lamar on the ropes there for just a moment. He's back in center ring. Coach yelling in some instructions to Pomar. 10-second warning. And there's the bell. So bout 2 has been completed. We'll find out who the winner is in just a couple of moments. We'll step aside for some business. You are listening to KPPF Radio and watching KPPF Radio's feed on YouTube from downtown Colorado Springs.
To USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's gold sponsor is Katie Newbill with Keller Williams Realty. Call 719-641-5544. Call Katie Newbill with Keller Williams Realty, 641-5544. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's silver sponsor is 9 Round in partnership with Pikes Peak MMA. 30-minute kickboxing fitness. Get stronger with 9 Round in partnership with Pikes Peak MMA. Call 719-646-9810.
And we are back, awaiting on the judges to get their scoring sheets in, and we'll find out who the winner of bout 3 is here.
All right.
Here's our.
Let's give our boxers a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, our winner in bout number 2 by unanimous decision is out of the blue corner, Luis Cornejo.
All right, congratulations to Luis. We will see if we can get the young man over here in just a couple of moments. 13 years old. He mentioned on his information packet that he was asked to fill out for us that he is from Colorado. We'll find out specifically where in Colorado and get him over here in just a couple of minutes. And they're going to both check out both boxers in a moment medically, make sure they're okay, and then we will move on. Luis getting some congratulations. We don't know if it's friends or family or a little bit of both. Some pictures taken, and again, we'll see if we can get him in front of the microphone in just a couple of moments. And we will continue with our boxing. And meet here in downtown Colorado Springs. Mike Campbell, who was joining me at the beginning of this broadcast is going to be refereeing the next couple of fights that we hope to get back in just a couple of moments. And apparently word did not get to Luis that we wanted to see him. So we will move on with our next match. It's going to be George Ramirez and Sean Daniels. George Ramirez and Sean Daniels. Referee Mike Campbell checking both opponents, both boxers' gloves, having a chat with them before we get underway. George Angel Ramirez is 24 years old, so these are older boxers. He is from New Jersey.
Get ready for bout number 3. Boxing out of the red corner, representing Triple Threat Boxing, George Ramirez. And boxing out of the blue corner, representing Bring It Back Boxing, Sean Daniels.
Final instructions being given by referee Mike Campbell. We will be underway. And there's the bell. Round 1 underway. Boxers coming out looking very good, aggressive. Ramirez and Daniels both moving around the ring. Basically trying to get a feel for each other early in this match. Light on the feet. Ramirez in the red. Daniels in the blue. Rounds have gone up to 3 minutes because these are older competitors. The mid-ring. Just trying to get a couple of jabs in. Pretty even so far in this first round. Most of the crowd that left because of the rain has returned to their seats. The rain has stopped. Fighters made a lot of connections. There we go. Ramirez on the ropes for just a couple of moments. Referee Mike Campbell steps in. He's having a conversation. Just checking to make sure everything's okay. There's the 10-second warning. And there's the bell. Round 1 has ended. We'll step away, take care of a little bit of business. You're listening to and watching the YouTube feed of KPPF Radio from downtown Colorado Springs from the Olympic and Paralympic Museum.
USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is McDonald Paving and Chip Sealing, Colorado Springs concrete contractors and driveway sealers since 1979. McDonaldPaving.com. Call 719-590-1680. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum is sponsored by 365 Grand Properties, The Antlers, and Money Exchange Hotel. 365grandclub.com. Call the Antlers Hotel at 719-955-5600.
Round 2 is underway. Both boxers. An 8 count now from referee Mike Campbell. Sure everything's okay. Now he's told the fighters to re-engage. Stepping towards Daniels. Fighters getting some instructions saying, keep your hands up, keep your hands up. Good exchange for both fighters. Ramirez and Daniels both answer each other fairly well. After one throws a blow, the other one comes right back. Both fighters clinch now. Near center ring. Referee Mike Campbell steps in, breaks him up. Daniels on the ropes there for just a couple of minutes. Some shouting. The coach, hands up, hands up. Keep your hands up. 10-second warning. Referee Mike Campbell steps in for an 8 count. And that is the end of round 2 in downtown Colorado Springs. Both fighters go back to their respective corners. We have scoring sheets have been given to the referee, who's taking it down to the official. And we are taking just a quick break. The intermission between rounds is scheduled to be 1 minute. Most of the rounds are 3 minutes, except when we have the younger boxers on in the ring, and they've reduced those to as low as 1 minute. So some of these bouts will go faster than others, because these are the bout we're in right now. Each round is 3 minutes. So we have one more round. We'll get going here in just a couple of moments. We're getting ready to get the warning to both fighters to come out. They're both being attended to in their respective quarters, getting a little bit of water to drink, getting a little conversation from the coaches. Referee Mike Campbell In center ring, get ready to invite the boxers back. We have begun. Referee Mike steps in for just a couple of moments. It's like they're taking a look at Ramirez. He's getting a little bit of water. Some more scoring sheets being handed down to the officials. All right. This round is over. It ended early. Coach Mike Campbell, referee Mike Campbell has both fighters in the center ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, our winner of bout number 3 by RC is out of the blue corner, Sean Daniels.
Again, Sean Daniels, the winner of bout 3. We'll see if we can get Sean over here in just a couple of moments. Again, it was ended early by the referee Mike Campbell. Coming up next will be Nick Covington. We saw Nick last night. He's from Oxon Hill, Maryland. And Joaquin Cabrios Garcia. They're younger boxers. We again are going to see if we can get Sean over here in just a couple of moments before we press on. And trying to get word to these young men that we'd like to have a word with them, but that's okay. They're so excited. They've got other people they want to talk to and share the excitement with. But if we can get them over here, we will. But if not, we continue to press on. So Nick Covington is coming up, 13 years old. He is in red. He's already stepped into the ring. And he will be taking on Joaquin Garcia, a 14-year-old from Arizona. So both from out of state of Colorado. One from Tucson, Arizona, the other from Maryland. Interesting. If we do get a chance to speak to the winner of this bout, we'll find out how the altitude here in Colorado Springs it may be impacting them. Both boxers are being checked on right now by referee Mike Campbell. So we'll be underway here in just a couple of moments for bout 4. This is our second day of bringing live boxing, USA Boxing, downtown Colorado Springs, US and Paralympic Museum. It's a fairly new fixture here in the Colorado Springs area. If you're not familiar, you're watching from somewhere else, I invite you to come by and see it. Here's our ringside announcer, Ed Garcia.
Please put your hands together representing Santiago's Boxing, Star Penrose. And out of the blue corner representing Sargent's West Side Boxing, Nevaeh, Russia.
All right, they have had a change, and I apologize. Apparently, they had a bout 0. They had a match that they were going to have before we even began, and they told me they had scratched it, and I did not get word that they had rescheduled this. So that's what's going on right now. So Star Penrose and Nevaeh, Russia. Both boxers coming up fairly aggressive early in this bout. Getting an 8 count now from referee Mike Campbell. All right, 8 count is over. Checking each other out now. Both these young men doing a pretty good job of keeping their gloves up. And there is the end of round one. You are listening and watching to the YouTube feed from KPPF Radio. We are live in downtown Colorado Springs.
USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is PPG Realty and Guaranteed Rate. Call 719-357-9340, ppgrealestate.com. PPG Real Estate and Guaranteed Rate, helping you make the right move. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum is sponsored by McDivitt Law Firm. When an accident happens, you need an experienced law firm on your side. McDivitt Law Firm, here to win for you. McDivittLaw.com.
And we are back in downtown Colorado Springs. And just so you know, there was a change in the order. This is Star Penrose and Nevaeh Russia that are fighting right now. They were supposed to be the scrapping match apparently before we began. There was some kind of a change, a discussion that took place, and they decided to go ahead and insert this match in the middle of this tournament. So that was just got the official explanation. Both fighters staying fairly engaged, moving around quickly in the ring. Campbell steps out of the way, referee Mike Campbell. But yeah, both fighters. Maybe they'll use it throughout the bouts. There's a breeze blowing downtown Colorado Springs, but it's not cold with most of these 10-second warnings. At the end of round two, which was officially listed as bout 0, just so you know. All right, 2 rounds behind us. After Star Penrose and Nevaeh Russia complete this, then we will go to what is listed as bout 4, Nick Covington and Joaquin Cambrios Garcia. So we will be getting that in just a couple of months. I'm sure both these young men are excited for the opportunity to get out and box. The age group that I have been told they are in the 14 to 15-year-old age group. Don't have the specifics on each boxer. It's got that young men in their teens. They're in their respective corners now, getting ready to come back. Hope you're enjoying this live boxing from downtown Colorado Springs on YouTube. We still have the fans who began are still here. A little bit of music in the background. Here we go. Round 3 underway. Good punches in there, both Penrose and Russia. Both fighters getting a little bit more aggressive now, as you can see. Looks like we're getting an 8 count now for the ref. And referee Mike Campbell has signaled timeout. Just a moment. See what's going on. All right, looks like we're back to action. Both fighters re-engage. Good punches from both Penrose and Russia. Mike Campbell steps in a moment. And we're getting, it looks like end of the mount. Looks like Mike Campbell is signaling the end of the round. We'll see what the official word is here in just a couple of minutes. Yep, that's it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give these young ladies a big round of applause. In our eyes, they are both winners.
Again, Ed Gonzalez is our ringside announcer. He just heard it mentioned. Congratulations to both ladies. I do believe that will bring up Nick Covington now and Joaquin Cabrios Garcia, which is the fourth bout listed. Let's take care of a little bit of business. We have a pause in the action here in downtown Colorado Springs. This is the YouTube feed on KPPF Radio.
USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's silver sponsor is 9 Round in partnership with Pikes Peak MMA. 30-minute kickboxing fitness. Get stronger with 9 Round in partnership with Pikes Peak MMA. Call 719-646-9810. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's medal sponsor is Harmony Real Estate Group and Nancy Wild. Call 719-229-4596. Call Nancy Wild at Harmony Real Estate Group for all your real estate needs.
1040 KPPF AM Monument, Colorado Springs. K253AH, 98.5 FM, Colorado Springs. K239CH, 95.7 FM, Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is Olympic City, USA.
And just so you know, we have a pause in the action. Not quite sure what we are waiting on, but that's okay. We're here. We will continue to be here for you. A delay here in downtown Colorado Springs as we wait to get Nick Covington and Joaquin Cabrios Garcia up into the ring. If we can find an official, we'll see if we can let you know what the delay is. Wind is really just picked up now in Springs. If I can get Mike Campbell's attention, I'm just going to checking the temperature right now. The official temperature in Colorado Springs, 72 degrees. We have some high clouds. We've had a little bit of sporadic rain. in the area since we began this match. And right now we are in a delay, so we're going to step aside and take care of some more business and see if we can figure out when we will be resuming this USA boxing match in downtown Colorado Springs. You are watching and listening to the YouTube feed from KPPF Radio, Colorado Springs.
Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is PPG Realty and Guaranteed Rate. Call 719-357-9340, ppgrealestate.com. PPG Real Estate and Guaranteed Rate, helping you make the right move. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum is sponsored by 365 Grand Properties, The Antlers, and Money Exchange Hotel. 365grandclub.com. Call The Antlers Hotel at 719-955-5600. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum silver sponsor is Rocky Mountain Protective Services, a veteran-owned security service in Colorado Springs, offering an extensive line of security and protective services. 719-578-3325.
Back in downtown Colorado Springs. During some of the commercials that we were playing for you, was able to get some information on what happened and why there was a change. One of the boxers that was set up to do the sparring,
All
which
right,
was supposed to
ladies
be
and
happening
gentlemen,
before
as we
we went live, before the actual match started, had a flat tire on their way to the match, so they wanted to go ahead and do the right thing, and they inserted that spar in the middle of this match. So that's what happened. So we have the explanation. So we're back on track. Nick Covington is in the red trucks, and Joaquin Cabreros Garcia is being introduced now by Ed Garcia, the ringside announcer. Fighters have touched gloves, back in their respective corners, waiting for the bell to ring, and we'll be underway. We're underway now. Nick Covington, 13 years old, from Maryland, and Joaquin Cambrios is 14 years old. He's from Arizona, so these are some young teenagers. Monster's getting some good punches and counter punches in early in this round. Covington. Boxers clinch for just a couple of moments. Ten-second warning. Both of them getting very aggressive now at the end of this first round. And that is the end of the first round. Nick Covington and Joaquin Cambrios, 13 and 14-year-old boxers, each now in their respective corners. If the weather stays the way it is now in Colorado Springs, we'll be able to complete this match, get all the fighters up into the ring without any more delays. weather is really perfect right now. Again, we're in the low 70s, a very nice breeze. I would imagine, because of the energy that's required to box, that the boxers appreciate the weather that we're having right now. I would imagine this would be ideal. But if we get a chance to talk to one of the boxers, we'll ask them about the weather and conditions in just a couple of moments. All right, get ready to come out of their respective quarters. Warning's been given from the officials that we're getting ready to get round 2 in the ring. Referee Mike Campbell says come in, gives the signal to go. He's got his hands up. Andrew seems to be just a little bit more aggressive early in this round. Umpires lunch for a moment. Referee breaks them apart. Good back and forth from both boxers. Mike Campbell steps in for just a moment. Boxer checking the other one out for just a moment. There we go. Engaged. Ten-second warning. Both going at it now towards the end of this round. And there's the bell. Round 2 in the books. Take care of a bit of business. You're listening to and watching the YouTube feed from KPPF Radio, downtown Colorado Springs.
USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is McDonald Paving and Chip Sealing, Colorado Springs concrete contractors and driveway sealers since 1979. McDonaldPaving.com. Call 719-590-1680.
It's Fight Night at the Museum with USA Boxing at the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in downtown Colorado Springs for amateur boxing at its best to celebrate the Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. Now, with all the action from Fight Night at the Museum, here's your host, Mike Lewis.
And round 3 is underway. Nick Kelly, 13 years old, from Maryland. He's in the red. Joaquin Campos, 14 years old. He is from Arizona. Both visit other states. Good engagement. Both boxers clinch for just a couple of minutes. Both was near being on the ropes for a moment. Not days ago. Hear the blows there. The announcer. Ten-second warning. And there's the bell. So another bout in the books. That was bout, which is listed as bout number 4. We'll find out who the winner is in just a couple of moments. The announcement will be made by our ringside announcer, Ed Garcia. You are listening and watching to continuing coverage of what we're calling Fight Night at the Museum YouTube channel, KPBF
Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's silver sponsor is 9 Round in partnership with Pikes Peak MMA. 30-minute kickboxing fitness. Get stronger with 9 Round in partnership with Pikes Peak MMA. Call 719-646-9810. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's gold sponsor is Katie Newville with Keller Williams Realty. Call 719-641-5544. Call Katie Newville with Keller Williams Realty. 641.
That's right. Let's give our boxers a big round of applause. Our winner by split decision is out of the blue corner, Joaquin Camberos Garcia.
All right, the 14-year-old from Tucson, Arizona, the winner of bout 4. Downtown Colorado Springs. We will do our best to see if we can get him over to our broadcast microphone in just a couple of moments. Looking ahead to our next bout, it's going to be Israel Trujillo and Yonel Rodriguez coming up to fight in just a couple of moments. Israel Trujillo is going to be coming in the red corner, we're told. He's from Pueblo, Colorado. 75 pounds, 4 ounces. Some of our boxers filled out information sheets and others did not. So that's why sometimes we do have a little bit more information on some of our fighters than we did others. And that's okay. Still providing you some good action here in downtown Colorado Springs. It looks like Joaquin is not going to be making it over to the broadcast booth. That's all right. We can get him later we will. So we will be getting underway here in just a couple of moments. We're about halfway through. Hope you're enjoying the action. It's exciting to see these young men. And we had a couple of ladies that showing us their skills in the ring. So there's something going on with the officials, and I think that's what the
All right,
hold-up
boxer
is. Here we go.
Naheda, you need it at the glove table. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Naheda, you're needed at the glove table.
Steve Garcia, our ringside announcer, making the announcements, the official announcements here in person. At the US Olympic Paralympic Museum. We have some kind of a delay going on. Hopefully we will be underway here in just a couple more moments. Both boxers for the next round are in the ring, ready to go. Pretty good crowd watching the action in downtown Colorado Springs. Check the time. If you're watching this live, it is 1:15 Mountain Time. We've got folks maybe watching from other parts of the country. Humidity feels like it's picking up a little bit right now. And again, we thought we were going to be underway, but there is some kind of a minor delay. I think we're going to get that taken care of in just a couple of moments, and we'll get things going here in just a couple of moments. Say hello to everyone stopping by. waiting on us to go on this big freight truck. These are youngsters. Do not have the
Hey, folks, don't forget to visit our concession stands if you guys want some snacks.
looks like Israel is 12 years old. Do not have the age on Rodriguez. Wearing the gold and black is Israel Hill. Red corner. We can get Mike Campbell over here. We'll find out what the delay is. This is USA Boxing from downtown Colorado Springs, being presented on KPPF Radio, and we are coming to you on YouTube today. We're billing this as Fight Night at the museum, but this is actually part 2. We were here last night in Colorado Springs, from Olympic City, USA, downtown Colorado Springs. It's kind of fun to watch the traffic. It's Sierra Madre, if you're familiar with Colorado Springs, is a smaller side street in the Colorado Springs area. Doesn't get a whole lot of traffic, but every now and then we get a couple of cars or trucks that drive by, and people are going by really slow and taking a look and watching. Oh, that's what's going on. A real boxing match in downtown Colorado Springs.
Bout number 5. Boxing out of the red corner, representing 360 Boxing, Israel Trujillo. And boxing out of the blue corner, representing Herrera's Boxing, Uniel Rodriguez.
All right, and back with me is he doing some referee duty, Mike Campbell. Good to have you back on the microphone, Mike.
Thank you very much.
I want to make sure, can you hear okay?
I can hear you great.
Make sure your levels are good.
A little bit of wind,
Yes.
but better than rain, right? The weather's cooperating with us. We should be able to get the whole bout cheating.
These are youngsters that are
Yeah.
coming out now. Looks like
From Pueblo,
Yes.
Trujillo,
we don't have Unil's sheet. I know a couple of them were.
they're from Denver area. Yeah, it's funny. Trujillo says he boxed because his dad boxed. Family affair. You see a lot of this, a lot of father-son relationships in boxing. Can't think of a better bonding experience for a father and his son or daughter than going into battle together.
Something they'll be able to talk about for years to come too. Stories. As a matter of fact, that theme was pretty through and through with all the younger boxers. Most of the ones that started at this young age, like these two young men, it was a family member who got them interested. One was an older. There's the bell for the end of round 1 in bout 5. Any surprises you see, Mike? It's just pretty much going the way you thought.
No, it's going really well. You see at this level, you see a lot of boxers that are less experienced and learning. So we try to make it, even with the referees and with the coaches and the boxers, make this a learning experience. We're getting them ready through these local club shows. We're getting them ready for their regional competitions and then their national competitions. So we spend a little bit more time refereeing with the rules, explaining the rules. After the bout, counseling them a little bit as well, because it's all about a progression and making it better. So I've seen a lot of growth here, a lot of development, and that's the beauty of the sport at this level.
No, it's very. You know how seriously these. Not that I mean that no one's not taking it serious, but we've got young men that have traveled from Maryland, from Arizona. I mean, they've traveled a long way to come here and be here in Colorado Springs.
Yeah. Even a team from Iowa came down that did the sparring. you know, COVID has changed a lot of things. And some states didn't have very much competition, and they've been traveling a lot more for even local shows. Even sparring teams are traveling quite a bit now. The team from Maryland is known for their traveling. Referee waves off. Obviously a push. No 8 count necessary. So yeah, it's amazing to see all the traveling and coming to town. Of course, what a better way than to see Colorado and Colorado Springs and this brand new museum and revitalization of the downtown area. So great time to bring people from out of state.
Well, it is Olympic City, USA.
So we see a referee stepping in to give an 8 count. 8 counts are designed for the boxer's safety and also for the referee to be able to assess their condition. In that situation, he was a little bit overwhelmed there, and she stepped in to give him a breather and check on his condition, and then immediately resume the action.
Well, I saw you do a couple of 8 counts when you were reffing earlier.
Yeah. The sparring, she was the reason it was sparring is because they were a little too far apart in experience and weight as well. So we asked the one boxer to really work with the other one, but you could see she needed a breather, and I gave her a little relief.
You mentioned the new museum. What year did tell us for those folks who don't know, when did the museum open here in downtown Colorado Springs?
Right now they're in the midst of their grand opening, but they have been open. They did a soft start. They've been open about 6 months, closer to a year. Of course, opening when tourism was at a hiatus as well was a little tough. But it's good to see the tourists coming back to Colorado Springs, and you see the crowds getting a lot bigger here in the museum. We as an NGB, as USA Boxing, came over as a group and did a tour. It's phenomenal. They've got the RFID chips, and it really tailors your experience to what athletes and what sports you're most interested in. So I encourage everybody. It's very interactive and state of the art.
Yeah, definitely put it on your to-do list.
And I love the architecture. I'm sure a lot of the viewers hopefully are seeing it in the background. That twisting architecture is supposed to remind you of Al Order and the discus thrower. And they got a statue of Al Order there in the lobby. That's pretty amazing. It's phenomenal. Also, the ties real well into the downtown area, the America the Beautiful Park, and the bridge that's going over the railway there.
8 count going on right now.
So we do have max limits on 8 counts. It's 3 and around is an automatic stoppage, and 4 and about for boxers at this age and experience. So
now
we're going to see the referee get real close in there.
10-second warning. Both of them coming out really good now.
Yep.
There's the bell. One of the fights earlier, you stopped. And was that because it exceeded the 8 count limit?
She was done. And the coach agreed that she'd gotten her limit in. They came in to get some work, and I think that was accomplished. So.
Again, with the younger boxers, the time has been reduced on the rounds.
Yeah, these are bantam boxers, so they do 3 1-minute rounds. It's like Coach Billy said, I referenced earlier, it's a sprint. No time to, no feeling out process like we saw with the heavyweights. They just go for it.
So this was bout 5.
Yeah, we moved around a little bit there with the rain and the sparring, and back on track.
We will get the announcement who won bout 5 from our ringside announcer, Ed Gonzalez, here in just a couple of moments, as soon as the official word is handed to him. So for those folks who are watching right now, explain what's going on. You've got the judges, they turn in their score sheets and then it's tabulated. Is that how it works?
Yep. So our Colorado Local Boxing Committee Chief of Officials here, Clarence Edwards, is our supervisor ringside, and he will tally all the individual scorecards as they're turned in to tabulate the winner and keep the official record. And then he fills out an announcer sheet to bring over to our ring announcer here to give us our result.
And it's getting ready to go on. Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in bout number 5, our winner by unanimous decision is out of the red corner, Israel Trujillo.
Again, that young man is not too far away from Colorado Springs, from Pueblo, Colorado.
Yeah, obviously Pueblo is a great place for boxing. Working Steel City, right? And
Yes.
they working class there. Definitely a place where amateur boxing will thrive in the community. And I understand this coach is building up his club there. He had 3 boxers he brought down to this competition.
Looks like up next we've got another couple of teenagers. It's going to be Trevon Gibbert. He's 16 years old from Illinois. And it's going to be Jeremiah Masters. And Jeremiah is joining us from northeastern part of the state, really Colorado.
Yeah,
15 years old.
Hubert boxing out of Coach Bloodbrandt's Triple Threat Boxing Club right here in Colorado Springs. He is a new boxer.
Describes his style as orthodox.
Orthodox means he's right-handed. Says his reach and height are what he's going to try to utilize, and wants to emulate Terrence Crawford and Muhammad Ali. Of course, Terrence Crawford from Omaha, but trains right here in Colorado Springs. Across the ring, Jeremiah Masters. Is that correct?
Yes, Jeremiah Masters.
He's been boxing for a year and a half. Calls himself a true boxer. Meaning he's very balanced, is what he says. Stamina, like we talked about, his cardio very well.
Oh, we're getting word from an official. Hang on just a second. Hang on a second. We're waiting to see what the officials are telling us, Mike. What's going on? Can you give us an update, please, sir?
So, one of the challenges of local amateur boxing is going to always be matching up making appropriate matchups. So there's always a head official that handles the age, weight, and experience, making sure they're within specifications as a suitable match. And I'm getting word that they were a little too far apart in weight, so they're going to reanalyze this bout and we'll possibly move on.
Okay.
We'll see there's a little bit of confusion about what their actual weights were and what the matchup was. In a situation like this, kind of like we had with the heavyweights yesterday, where the one bout was on the bout sheet, but then they couldn't make the match, drops at the scale. You always have some percentage of bouts that will need adjustment or not come to fruition, even though they were playing. Of course, you have your weight that you want to be. I'm sure we all have 2 weights when we share our weights, right? And if your weight, the coach has the weight that they're trying to achieve for the fight day, and then they have their current weight. And sometimes they might be a little off target.
All the boxers reported this morning, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we call these matched bouts, and these are matched based upon parameters that are acceptable, tolerance limits of how far apart they can be, and those are determined by their age and weight class. So in this case, I think they need to be within 6 pounds. I'd have to consult the chart, but within 6 pounds of each other, and they were a little out of specification. So we'll see what the chief officials decide to do next, and we might be moving on to bout number 7.
Okay.
So it'll probably take a minute to cue them up.
We're going to 7, we were just told. So does that mean 6 will be scratched?
Yeah, I believe it's going to be a scratch bout, a walkover is what we'll call it. Neither guy will get a match, credit for a match.
And I'm sure they're disappointed in that, but you do have to follow rules.
Absolutely. They're all designed for the safety of the boxer, to make suitable bouts. And that's like I said, that's a big challenge in a lot of cities and regions across the country where you have when boxers travel from really far and they don't have as big of a pool of boxers to pull from.
Sure. And again, you mentioned safety because, especially, well, I would imagine it doesn't really depend on the age, but especially some of these younger boxers, if they are mismatched weight things, that can hurt them.
Absolutely. Of course, as they get more experience, they're going to push their how they challenge their boxers, and we'll accept a little bit difference in age and weight, but especially at the novice level, they're just getting started.
Speaking of novice,
yeah, there we go. So we're coming up with some Pee Wee division.
the wind just blew my piece of paper. My foot was able to grab it,
Nice.
so I'm going to get that. But we've got a 9 and 10.
We got 9 and 10-year-olds, 70 pounds.
All right.
So we call these the Pee Wee division. We've got Mario Medrano coming out of the red corner, getting in the ring now. He's from Buena Vista Brawlers. Coach Andrew Medrano, his father. Just started boxing. course, he's 10 years old. Not surprised. Says he thinks it's a lot of fun. Loves doing new activities.
And then we've got, is it Naya?
Naya Najera.
Najera. And he's 9. But you're right about look at the weight of 70 and 72. So you're within 2 pounds of each other.
Yep, and 1 year apart. So that's an acceptable bout. We allow 9-year-olds to box from 8 up to 11. And 10-year-olds can only box 9, 10, and 11-year-olds.
And what is the youngest age you can box?
8-year-olds we started in the United States. A lot of countries start at age 11 and 12 and do developmental bouts for those younger ages. But we allow Pee Wee division to start at 8, and we even have Pee Wee 8-year-olds at our national tournament.
And this will be a 1-minute round?
That's right. Yep.
Boxing out of the red corner, representing Buena Vista Boxing, Mario Mendrano. Representing House of Pain Boxing, Naya Nahera.
Mendrano cites Mike Tyson as his favorite pro boxer, and Najero Manny Pacquiao. 2 excellent all-time greats there. Both are in the 5th grade.
Give us a little insight before the bout begins. What is the referee telling both boxers?
So the referee will go to both corners and inspect their uniform. They did undergo an inspection at the glove table when they got their gloves, but the referee's verifying that their headgear is certified. All headgears are approved by USA Boxing and put through rigorous testing, and the headgear manufacturers maintain insurance policies. So that's one check. They also check that they're wearing the correct glove size. Boxers under 141 pound weight division wear 10 ounce, and above 141 pound division they wear 12 ounce. So they inspect that. They're inspecting their trunks. The uniform is all correct. They're wearing a growing protected, and then the referee will call them to the center of the ring. Missing 8 count. He does a great looping left hook there, by blue.
10-second warning, so we may not even see them get back. They're only going to have a couple of seconds. Yeah.
1 minute rounds, goes real fast. Referee's on top of the action in case another big blow lands. So then after the introduction, the referee will bring them to the center of the ring and just reiterate a few of the rules, including don't put no low blows, to keep their heads up. You don't want them to get in the habit of leading with their head or head clashes. And then tell them to listen for the bell, listen to their instructions, don't hold each other, do some of the basics. Basically just establishing their authority at that point. Again, at this age, these novice boxers, referee is a coach for them. We're coaching the rule book and teaching them about what are the typical commands, typical fouls that are called, and getting them ready for as they progress into when the bouts really start counting in the Open and the Nationals, as what they try to obtain a spot on Team USA.
Well, at this age, you've got to suspect these boxers are what, probably 4th, 5th grade, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it looks like we got a 5th grader at Buena Vista County. He's at Avery Parson Elementary School.
Yeah, they're both 5th.
Yep.
Okay.
Looks like they both have brothers who box as well. So boxing in the family.
Referee just step in. 8 count.
Again, Lisa wants to step in there to be able to look the boxer in the eye, assess their condition, make sure they're not hurt, give them a chance to reset and defend themselves.
You mentioned that there was a maximum amount of 8 counts. Is that per round or per bout?
So it's 3 per round, 4 in the bout. Those rules change a little bit for the elite division, where the referee can give more 8 counts. But at this level, yeah. So I think a third 8 count may result in a stoppage here.
Another 8 count. I think we're going to get the bell here because we have a 10-second warning. That's it. We got one more round. One more round. So they do go fast at this age.
And Madrano boxing really well, but not able to defend those looping hooks coming from Najera.
So this is about 7, so we have 4 more scheduled. I think we're going to get them in.
I hope so. It's looking good. The forecast did have another cell coming in around 2 o'clock, so hopefully it stays over the mountain.
Checking the temperature right now, 72 degrees. Winds are north-northwest, 13 miles an hour.
Wind's certainly picking up. You feel that. The temperature dropping a bit, but it feels good. Better than getting sunburn out here, right?
I would imagine boxers will like it because it's like having a tan on in the ring.
I think my main worry about this event was that if we were having full sunlight, it would be brutal on us and the officials, but that part worked out.
Boy, we get a,
This is way thought off. Yeah, that's she's reached the limit on 8 counts.
so that's going to end the match.
Yep. Looked like she was that was an opportunity to step in and do an 8 count, but she decided that was more prudent to stop the bout.
Well, again, safety, and especially at this age.
No, they accomplished what they set out to do here. Red corner, Madrano now has a lot more information to take back to the lab, go back to the gym, and they know what they need to work on. And got this bout under his experience. Let's see here. I think this was his first match. According to he just started. Yeah, and he started, at a time when there wasn't many bouts going on because of COVID hiatus. So get in there, get that experience, and he'll be better for it. And knows what to work on. Your first bout, it's almost stage fright. You get sure there's butterflies and you got to work through. Your first time in the ring is a lot different than being in the gym. But again, like Lisa's raising both hands there, both are champs here.
Absolutely. And the fun thing is, since this is on YouTube, they'll be able to go back to home and they'll be able to rewatch it on YouTube when they want.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our boxers a big round of applause. Our winner in bout number 7 by RC is out of the blue corner, Naya Nahida.
We call that an RSC, referee stop contest. We use that term in amateur boxing, whereas in pros, the equivalent is TKO, technical knockout. Referee stop the bout. We call this an RSC.
All right. Well, again, both those young men are winners. Folks, we're going to take care of just a little bit of business. We're in downtown Colorado Springs at the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum. You're listening to the feed from KPPF Radio on YouTube.
You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs, Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's gold sponsor is Katie Newville with Keller Williams Realty. Call 719-641-5544. Call Katie Newville with Keller Williams Realty, 641-5544.
All right, once again, I want to acknowledge some of our sponsors. That's the PPG Realty Group, Katie Newville from Keller Williams Realty. Those are your real estate sponsors for today's event. Also, McDonald Paving and Sealing, commercial and residential. Give them a call.
Olympic City, USA. The US Olympic and Paralympic Museum. We're outdoors right in front of the main entrance. If you're familiar, we're in the downtown Colorado Springs area, right off Sierra Madre. If you haven't had an opportunity to live in Colorado Springs or in this area, please come by and see the museum. It's beautiful. You said it opened about 6 months ago, but it was a soft building.
Yeah.
COVID affected everything.
That's right.
Salomon Guzman. And in the blue corner representing Bring It Back Boxing, Zach Guzzi.
I mentioned the grand opening of the museum next week. Of course, we're in the midst of the Colorado Springs, let's see if I get this right, sesquicentennial, 150-year anniversary.
Yes.
And this whole avenue will be closed off as we do the Olympic celebration. We'll have an activation zone here. Lots of NGBs, National Governing Bodies and Sports will be out here, as well as vendors and lots of activities. A good family event. There'll be a kids zone at the Pioneers Museum. Should be a lot of fun next week. Celebrate the Olympics, celebrate Colorado Springs, and this rejuvenation of this whole downtown warehouse district with the soccer stadium, the power plant's coming out, now the museum's here. Exciting times for our city.
Yes, boy, things have changed. How long have you been in the area, Mike?
So I'm going on 3 years now at the national office for USA Boxing. Not quite a Coloradoan, still a Texan, but yeah, no, calling this home. This is a beautiful place. Every day is a postcard here. It's
Absolutely.
amazing. I like to say I have the best commute every day, driving past that Air Force Academy along the mountains. So we got a lot of action here. In the red, Solomon Guzon,
19 years old.
he just started boxing. Says he's enjoyed it quite a bit in his athleticism. He's, some of that attributes.
The referee stepped in for just a couple of moments.
Yeah, it looked like an equipment issue. We tape the gloves so they're Velcro. These are what we call hook and loop instead of lace-up gloves. They have Velcro fasteners, and we put one strip of tape around to make sure that the Velcro doesn't come up, doesn't get caught in the opponent's eyes. And, some tape's better than other tape. And it looks like a little frayed there. Referee wanted to get rid of that.
When the referee steps in, do they stop the clock or do they keep the clock going?
If it's going to be an extended stoppage, say to clean a mouthpiece or to take him over to see the doctor for an injury, then they call timeout. If not, it's something quick, they can take care of it, let's say under 10 seconds, then we let the clock run. Tremendous height and size advantage here for the blue corner. Looks like he's landing some heavy shots and really starting to hurt Red there. The referee steps in, give an 8 count.
On the blue corner is Guzman. Didn't get a sheet on him, but I would imagine his age is fairly close to Guzman.
These are both senior and novice boxers, 178-pound division. And, he's from that Bring It Back Boxing Club, who had a really good performance earlier as well. Here we're seeing a classic example of investing in the body, and it pays off later. The boxer's real busy and throwing a lot of punches. If you go down below, it drops their elbows, and it wears out. Looks like it's really paying off for Zach here. Second 8 count. Again, you see how the referee's assessing his condition. Is he showing the right body language as he wanted to? Sends it back out after a quick breather.
Lucy getting a very nice Phoenix and blows him.
True knockdown there, and the referee waves it off, says he's had enough. Another RSC.
So this bout comes to an early end, but again, safety is important.
Absolutely. And again, Solomon will have some information to go back to the lab. You know that his first bout here, your breathing and your warm up, your preparation is all key to how much energy you have in 3 rounds of a match. A lot different than 3 rounds of the gym. Now he's got this under his belt. He'll be able to go back and better prepare, know what to work on, and be ready for his next bout. Obviously, Zach in the blue corner here.
Both sides doing good sportsmanship.
Boxing is all about, we're not just building athletes, building character, young men and women. You go see great sportsmanship in our sport. It's tremendous. One of the best parts about amateur boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get these young men a big round of applause. Our winner by RSC is out of the blue corner, Zach Guzzi.
That stands for RC Referee Stopped
Contest. Now, if, say, the doctor had stopped it or they had stopped it for an injury, we'd call it a RSCI. So referee stopped the contest due to injury.
We'll go ahead, and that's going to move us down to bout number 9. We've got 11 bouts, so 3 more to go. A little bit of folks just put some gloves down in front of us here at the underneath the broadcast tent. We appreciate that. Wind is picking up a little bit. We've got weights holding down our various paperwork so things don't go blowing across here. So it looks like Dion Masters is set to go against Chet Wola.
Yeah, that was a scheduled bout number 9. Let's see what they've got next. They may be moving on to bout 10.
Oh, okay.
Let's see what the official in charge here information they give us.
No, we've had to be flexible because of things changing at the last minute. Flat tires and things,
Yeah.
so people can't get here.
And this is the first
Bout number 9 to ringside. Bout number 9 to ringside.
first time we've had a match here on the plaza here at USOPM, and hopefully this will create some buzz. Great photos, great marketing, great advertising, and if we do it again real soon, there'll be even more people coming from out of town and visiting Colorado Springs, and have a longer show, even more bouts can be made.
We just heard the ringside announcer, Ed Garcia, announce about fighters for bout 9 to ring. We're still waiting, so I'll tell you what, let's take care of a bit of business. You are listening and watching to the YouTube feed from KPPF Radio, downtown Colorado Springs. This is Olympic City, USA.
To USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs. Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is McDonald Paving and Chip Sealing, Colorado Springs concrete contractors and driveway sealers since 1979. McDonaldPaving.com. Call 719-590-1680. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs. Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum's platinum sponsor is PPG Realty and Guaranteed Rate. Call 719-357-9340. PPGRealestate.com. PPG Real Estate and Guaranteed Rate, helping you make the right move. You're listening to USA Boxing's Fight Night at the Museum, live on KPPF from the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs. Olympic City, USA. Fight Night at the Museum is sponsored by 365 Grand Properties, The Antlers, and Money Exchange Hotel. 365grandclub.com. Call the Antlers Hotel at 719-955-5600.
It's Fight Night at the Museum with USA Boxing at the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum in downtown Colorado Springs for amateur boxing at its best to celebrate the Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. Now, with all the action from Fight Night at the Museum, here's your host, Mike Lewis.
And we have had a couple of bouts scratched, eliminated, and we've got Mike Campbell with us. He is with USA Boxing. As soon as Mike, you were just talking to some of the officials here. Can you give us so we're going to lose 2 bouts, number 9 and 11.
Yeah, same situation. Boxers, coaches make an agreement. Down at those weight classes, they have to be within 5 pounds as the tolerance, and they were 6 pounds apart. They didn't choose 10. And the coaches couldn't make an agreement, couldn't lose the weight, so that bout is not going to take place again. Safety is paramount. And same thing happened in the last bout. I think they were 6.2 pounds apart. Couldn't make the match. Tried to do some shuffling there and a substitute, but with the team from Arizona, but didn't work out. They were too far apart as well.
So you have to be within 5 pounds.
At below 100 pounds, they have to be within 5 pounds. Once they get over 100, the tolerance is a little bit bigger, 6 and 7 pounds. And then once they get to about 165, then it's even more tolerant, about 10 pounds apart.
Of course, our medical staff as well.
All right, here's our ringside announcer, Ed Garcia. He's going to be making the announcements in just a couple of moments as we get ready to get the 10th, what is listed as the 10th bout. It's actually going to be the 9th, I guess, if you want to. We lost number 9.
Yeah, but we had those bonus bouts at the beginning.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, as we come to our last bout of the afternoon, want to thank our sponsors, 365 Grand Club Antlers and Mining Exchange, McDivitt Law Firm, 9 Round Boxing, PPG Realty Group, and Katie Newbill from Keller Williams. McDonald Paving, Rocky Mountain Protective Services, Harmony Metals, our official metal sponsors for our boxers. And of course, KPPF.
So our referee for this final bout is
As we
in the
get
ring.
ready
Here
for
we
our
go.
last bout of the afternoon, boxing out of the red corner, representing Ibarra's Boxing. Eli Jared Batista. And boxing out of the blue corner, representing R&M Boxing, Brian Lopez.
Our USA Boxing Executive Director there coming and picking up the boxing gloves and running them back to the glove table. He's serving as our equipment manager.
All hands on deck.
That's right.
Both of these are guys that are coming out hard.
Well, finishing the show. Red's going for it. Who we got in the red corner? That's Elijah Bautista from the Ibarras.
And Brian Lopez in the blue.
This is kind of what we said. You had no experience here. They're getting ready, cutting their teeth, getting their feet wet here, but starting strong and not pacing or measuring themselves at all. We'll see how their stamina kicks in.
Elijah, 15 years old, by the way. We didn't get an information sheet on him.
Yeah, from here at Ibarra's local club here down the Fountain. No feeling out process here, right?
No.
Just going for it, throwing punches simultaneously. Good matchup, size-wise, height-wise. The punches are connecting at the same time.
Good way to end the show.
Referee letting them mix it up. Bigger boys here. A lot more on their punches. Again, you see part of going from novice to open division and learning is that measuring your distance. These guys haven't quite gotten that yet. So there's no jabs, right? They're not working their way in. They're just throwing heavy artillery.
Good footwork for both, moving around a bit.
Nice feints from Blue. Trying to bait them in. Figured out they were throwing at the same time. Might as well throw a fake in there. Good action. Great round.
It was. That is the end of round one.
Looks like opened up a little bit of a bloody nose in the red corner. Also part of their progression and learning. Their nose is getting better accustomed to taking those punches. And, something that they probably doesn't happen as much in the gym and sparring. They got to learn how to cope with that in the match.
Had a couple of bloody noses in this one. Handful.
Yeah, but
That's
no injuries.
Pretty,
Yeah, no knockouts. You see, amateur boxing is not prize fighting. It's not a blood sport like the pros are necessarily. You see, not the biggest problem we have are medical injuries, a little bit of swelling and a bloody nose. And, we were talking earlier about what the rigorous checks. Of course, their annual physical at the weigh-in in the morning. The doctor was there to assess all their condition. They did squats. They did all kinds of movements to demonstrate that they were physically ready. They didn't have any pre-existing injuries, and that it would be a good, able-bodied matchup. And then after the bout, they'll come down the ring apron. The first thing to do is see the doctor who will check for any fractures, lacerations, and lingering injuries, headaches, etc., and sign their passport. They're cleared. If any boxer, looks like there's a little bit of a shot to the back of the head. Again, big punches. If there's any injury that doctor, let's say there's a KO or a doctor wants them to take a rest period, then we have a mandatory restriction form that we'll fill out, and we'll hold their passport so they don't compete. Counsel them on what they should do for training and what to hold off on. So again, many safety mechanisms in place here.
That's good to know.
Absolutely. Referees are trained to really watch closely. We're not trying to get knockouts in the sport. We're trying to learn and give them information to go back to the gym with and get better next time. And as I say that, these guys are landing the heavy artillery, the big punches. Blue's just walking down, feels real comfortable now.
Lopez.
Started working the jab to set up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
See what we said earlier. You see both their mouthpieces are hanging out.
Yep.
Now that initial burst that they did at the beginning is there we go.
Shows a little fatigue there.
Yeah. And that's the biggest problem here. I think Blue is fatigued as well, so he's probably not punching at 100%. But as Red is fatigued, you see the movement's not there, and he's more of a target.
See the crowd still engaged and watching.
Yeah, still a good crowd out here. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shows that this is sustainable. That there's a thirst for boxing here. I was appreciative that Ed made those comments, those announcements for the sponsors of KPPF, but I personally want to thank on behalf of USA Boxing, the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum for hosting us here on the plaza, KPPF for great gathering a great crowd, creating this broadcast so everybody can watch around the country and live cast it here in the lounge during the Olympics. It's a great celebration of boxing at every level, from past medalists to current Olympics going on in Tokyo to the celebration of the Junior Olympics we just had at a national tournament in Texas and down here at the grassroots local level, which just shows boxing, the place boxing has in world sport, in U.S. sport, but also down here in local communities. And I know that's KPBF's message is connecting the community and improving us on all levels. So thank you guys for being great partners. And as we enter our final round of our first ever fight night at the museum.
Thank you, Mike, for the kind words. It's our pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. Here we go. Both boxers are going to try to make some scores here. Final round.
And the crowd's into it. You can hear them. Both corners passionate. Neither boxer's giving up here. They really want to close this and win this bout.
Mike, I don't think you get ordered a better day weather-wise.
As nervous as we were, right? We waking up seeing the forecast. It really worked out. It's beautiful. Again, all parties working together, including Mother Nature. It's, referee watching real closely here as Red was back into the corner.
You've had several different referees throughout this match.
So every state, if you will, almost is a local boxing chapter. Colorado LBC is an excellent LBC for their officiating. We got some of the top referees in the country here. In fact, not here, present at ringside, is the registration chair and one of the best officials in Colorado, Bo Campbell, who is over in Tokyo refereeing at the Olympic Games. So we're real proud of his accomplishments and over there representing USA. Also, the tournament supervisor there, technical supervisor, is Angel Villarreal, who fills the same role for us here at Nationals. So, excellent lineage, excellent officials, and some terrific standout officials here in Colorado. In fact, I'll shout out Matt Butler there, who's doing scorekeeping. He serves on our board of directors as treasurer, our national board of directors. So, all volunteers, all volunteer positions as well. So,
10-second point.
10 seconds, give it their all. No regrets. Great finish.
Lopez was going in there to really finish it out at the end, wasn't he?
Yeah. But Bautista showed his durability and his will and heart. And, may have lost this bout, may have gotten a bloody nose, but I'm sure he learned a lot about himself, what he's capable of. And, those are lessons that you can't learn in the classroom or even in the gym. You learn in competition.
I want to thank you, Mike, by the way, for helping us out today.
course.
Appreciate it. And I also would like to just put a shout out to everyone watching. If you haven't been to the US Olympic and Paralympic Museum, come take a visit. It's a beauty. Took a walk across the bridge into America the Beautiful Park the other day. It's just gorgeous. I mean, you can just the views down here and get out and enjoy nature is wonderful.
Yeah, and the bridge has a nice platform at the end. Great photo opportunity there, overlooking the park, overlooking the brand new stadium, and we get to stare at Pikes Peak all day, every day down here. It's a beautiful place.
You got a great place to come to work.
Yeah, I'm spoiled. Our conference room stares at Pikes Peak, sometimes it's hard to concentrate on the meeting.
To close the window, close the curtain, right?
Yeah.
All right, we will be handing it back to Ed Gonzalez.
Once
in a
again,
couple of
ladies and
moments to
gentlemen,
get the winner announcement.
let's give these warriors a big round of applause.
As we await the scores to be run to the announcer, just want to mention, everybody listening is, I'm sure, already a great supporter of amateur boxing, but so please support amateur boxing clubs in your community. They certainly make a difference in people's lives. And on USA Boxing's website, you can support our national foundation efforts there.
Absolutely. Good point. Thank you for that. All right, the information has been given to Ed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our winner in our last bout of the afternoon by unanimous decision is out of the blue corner, Brian Lopez.
All right, again, a good show of sportsmanship from both boxers there at the end.
What a fun day this was. Combined with yesterday, great celebration of amateur boxing, of amateur sport, and our community.
Yes.
So, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here, and hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Real soon. Let's do it soon. Maybe at the baseball park.
All right, we'll see you. Yeah, come by and see us out there.
I sure will.
We'll bring you the booth.
Definitely.
All right, Mike Campbell with USA Boxing. Thank you, sir. It was good to meet you. All right, we are in downtown Colorado Springs. We are coming to the end of this broadcast. It's a little after 2 o'clock. And thank you for joining us on the KPPF radio feed on YouTube of part 2 of Fight Night at the Museum from downtown Colorado Springs, otherwise known as Olympic City, USA. Again, thanks to all of our sponsors. And again, I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. It was wonderful to be with you today. Thank you.
KPPF AM Monument, Colorado Springs. K253AH, 98.5 FM, Colorado Springs. K239CH, 95.7 FM, Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs is Olympic City, USA.